Hello, everyone. Last Friday, I just had back-to-back confirmations for the term battle axe that I think is significant just because of the way it unfolded. So let me just explain. I had breakfast with a friend and I was doing some research to send her some information on how to use the Strong's Concordance because she had never heard of the Strong's Concordance. I don't know why this particular book, Upon This Rock, the Revival of the Fivefold Ministry, popped up. And I started reading the preview, and it was very interesting. So I just kept reading it. I totally lost track of my original intent to find an article for my friend. And this just really stuck with me about um, the real apostleship ministry and that the day of the Lord is nigh, and that what's coming through the men of God who walk in holiness and consecration is that they will be the battle axe of the Lord and a sharp two-edged sword. Fire will proceed from their mouth. He's talking about the dual army accompanied by the remnant and the elect. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But that just really stuck with me because we recently went to a place called Battle for a retreat, and it's a Christian center, and so that just kind of caught my eye. And then, so I get home. Then I said, oh, we had a deadline for claiming reimbursement for these train tickets from this town called Battle. So I had to, scan my receipt, put them into an email, and send them to this lady. And this was the total. And when I Googled um, battle axe Bible verse. Because I had just read that section, and I remember I've read something about it before, and I just didn't know which scripture it was in. I googled that, and there it was, Jeremiah 51:20. You are my battle axe and weapons of war, for with you I will break the nation in pieces. With you I will destroy kingdoms. So that was really interesting. And where it occurs, I actually went back and read the entire chapter 51 of Jeremiah, is where God is pronouncing judgment, utter destruction on Babylon. So that was really interesting that, I Googled battle axe scripture. I had no, and I had just sent this email, like literally after pressing send on the email, I went back to, my original fascination with this battle axe that I had read about, and I got that number again. I was like, oh my goodness, wow. Um, the scripture is a little scary, and then also I always take a picture of my phone screen so I remember what time I got woken up because I get woken up in the middle of the night all sorts of times, and sometimes those numbers are significant. So that Friday morning, I looked back, and it was 5:13 in the morning. I had my picture screen. Look it up, and it means X. I was like, what? What are the odds that all of this is going to transpire right after another? So Psalm greets 5:13 acts. It only occurs two times in the New Testament, and both of it has to do with cutting down trees. And that was just 2 days before the beginning of the New Year for Tree celebration um, uh, that occurs here to Bishavat. So this is the day that all of that happened. That was just a couple of days before this. Um, so I looked at those, 5:13. Here it is. That's the time I got woken up. I don't wake up early in the morning, so that's definitely not on my account or any alarm. It was just I woke up, went to my phone, looked. Okay, it's 5:13. Take a picture, to record it, and then go back to sleep. And look at these scriptures. And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees. Therefore every tree which bringeth not good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. And this is basically the same thing. It's repeating the same thing. So that's interesting. I mean, the scripture, Jeremiah 51, is all about judgment on Babylon. and bringing the battle axe against the kingdoms that are against the Lord. Um, and then this. And another thing that I found interesting is 39310. Um, Obviously, this is talking about cutting down trees, but um, uh, what's happening on 3.9 and 3.10, that's Purim, and that has to do with the deliverance of the people of Israel. So I don't know, are we in for something really um, big occurring during this time frame here over the next month or so? It's just really intense. Also, I just commented on Steve Fletcher's video, and I actually haven't really been keeping up with him for a while. But this caught my eye because he said Corona Eclipse. And I had had a dream back in when the Great American Eclipse was happening. I think that was in 2017. And in the dream, I was led to this movie, The Ring. And I've never seen that movie. I don't like scary movies, so I would not be dreaming about that. It's old, much older than when this was happening. So it caught my eye. I looked it up, and the cover says, "Before you die, you see the ring," and has a picture of an eclipse. So there's a video. I'll put a link on it. You want to go back to see that. What I discovered recently, after going back and looking into the description of the book that the original movies are based on, is that the true nature of the tapes, and these are the cursed videotapes that cause people to die a week after they view it. It was revealed the villain's rage caused her psychic powers to combine with the smallpox virus that in her body, creating a paranormal phenomenon that is activated when the tape is viewed. Demanding that the viewer replicate the tape, the curse is propagated like a virus through tape copies, sparing anyone who copies it. So that's interesting. I hadn't really seen this bit before. I just thought it all had to do with the technology and her psychic powers, but it's actually tied to a virus. And there's also another in this franchise. In my dream, I was just, have you seen the movie The Ring? But one of the movies is called The Ring Virus. I just wasn't familiar with that before. So that's what I said, in his video here, in Steve Fletcher's video. He's talking about trees, curses, um, eclipses, virus, all of this stuff is kind of what I've been seeing based on this stream and just the information about the battle axe and cutting down trees. So just wanted to share it out there because, it's really hard to for all of this to happen just back to back to back in like a single day. I think it's significant. Stay prayerful, everyone. Thank you. Bye.